Hi, I'm Zulf from zulfphotography.com and I create content on Amazon. Today I'm going to speak to you about 5 best camera options for YouTubers. I've made a number of videos over the years and you know what? I live stream on Amazon.com helping customers with different questions around cameras. We actually do a live comparison of different camera specs and I look at what camera is better than another camera in certain scenarios. You might be looking for a camera for vlogging, you might be looking for a camera like what I'm doing here, sit down talking shots. Maybe you're doing a lifestyle video. What would be the right camera for you? Well, you're lucky today. We're going to be looking at 5 different camera options. I'm going to help you find what would be a good option. With this, what I will do is I'm going to show you a number of cameras at different budgets, because you may like one camera and have a lower budget. Don't worry, I've got you covered. We can look at a few options. So right here I've got a Canon PowerShot camera, a digital camera. The good thing about this camera, it's nice and easy to carry. It's nice and small. You may not want to announce that you're a photographer. You might want something that's really nice and easy to carry around shops, or if you're at home and doing family vlogging, this would be a great camera for you for video and also to use in many scenarios, especially for making YouTube videos. So that's one option for you. And what we can do sometimes, image quality and quality of video can be quite important, so why not get a DSLR camera? DSLR tends to be a little bit bigger than the first camera we looked at. However, it gives you some added benefits. The image quality will improve because the sensor of the camera is bigger. What do I mean by that? So in cameras you get different types of sensors. So you'll see this sensor is how big the camera sensor is. The bigger the sensor, generally speaking, the better quality of lens you can attach onto it, as well as get better quality photos. So you'll see that one's a lot bigger than that one there. So we have got a number of options that we can look at later on down the stage when we start looking at lenses. So I'm already preempting your progression, because as you get better you will slowly improve, and as you improve you're going to be wanting additional camera lenses and things. So that's another episode we'll be looking at. But for now, looking at cameras, what should we say? Canon T7, a great starter camera. You are able to change the lens on the camera, so you can buy different lenses for it, which means as you progress you can improve your video, and that is a solid camera, mainly because it does great photos. Remember, if you're doing YouTube videos, that means you are going to also be taking photographs for your thumbnails, so this camera will work well in that scenario as well, because it allows you to take photographs and video. So that's number 2 on the list, T7. It's a slight bump up on the PowerShot in terms of quality, but you're going to compromise a bit with the size. It's a bigger camera basically. How about a better option than that? Next up, one of my favorite cameras, Canon EOS M50. Now, why is this a good camera? Basically, it's a mid-ground between the first camera I showed you and the second camera. It's not as big as the second and it's not as small as the first. However, it's smack bang in the middle, but you get some great features on it. You've got a good video capability, you've got a flip out screen, you've got options to record videos, take photographs, and even live stream with it. So when you start live streaming, which will inevitably you start getting into at the moment, everybody's live streaming. That's the cool thing about YouTube as well. So you can get a number of options in that, and you can use it as a vlogging camera as well, which is the best bit. You can buy it as part of a kit that comes like that, and you get a vlogging microphone on the top. You get a little holder for it as well. So there are a few options available. That's number 2. What about number 3? Well, I've got you here a Sony Alpha A6400 camera, a great camera if you're looking to do 4K video recording. It's got higher frame rates. You got 120 frames a second in 1080p video. What does that mean? You can record video in a faster pace, which then you can slow down and get that nice smooth slow motion footage. So that's a couple of cameras there. But what do I use? I have to tell you about this. I use a camera which does very well in most scenarios. It's a Canon SL3, also known as a 250D. Why is it a good camera? Because it allows me to have a medium-sized camera. It's not as big as a DSLR, it's not as big as a full-frame DSLR, and it's not too small, but it offers great image quality. You can see the example of the video here. It records in 4K. You can actually live stream with it, which I do regularly on Amazon with this camera. So I want to be able to tell you about cameras that I personally use, and that is one of them. In addition to that, I do also use a full-frame camera, and my full frame is a different model to the camera I'm going to show you. But if you've got some money and you want the best of the best, the EOS R5 camera will be the best camera you can get at the moment. for YouTube. There are other cameras out there, Red, Blackmagic, all those options, but Canon makes some great options, and the R5 offers you 8K video recording. Come on. Honorable mention, I do have to mention the Panasonic Lumix camera GH5 camera. Why? If you know, you know. 10-bit recording, 8-bit recording is a new professional setup where you can actually get a lot more out of your camera video. So hopefully that helps you with this example of cameras and YouTube cameras. If you can make it to one of my live streams at amazon.com/live, you'll see my regular show every day. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them, as well as show you additional options. This was quite tricky. I had to find 5 cameras in certain spec for YouTubers. However, you may have different specs, so when you come to the live stream, I can actually talk to you more about that, and we can find a right camera for you. So hopefully this helps you. I'll see you on the next one.